everyone cares. Everyone really cares about the festival, about the ideas that we're sharing, and we really, really care the people who come.
All right. Hey, Joanne.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
I'm excited. Is it the 10th annual Anthem Film Festival?
Our 12th. Last year was our anniversary, so it was really our 11th, but this is our 12th season.
Wow.
Yeah, because you don't have the first one, so the 10th year is really the 11th festival.
Wow.
This is our 12th coming up.
Wow. And so there's more and more libertarians. So can you talk about this being a libertarian film festival?
Sure. So I started this festival because I love film. I've been the entertainment editor for Liberty Magazine for several years. And I'm always looking for films that have some kind of a libertarian bent. And it doesn't have to be a hit over the head kind of message. I look for films that just have strong, independent individualists for their protagonists who solve their own problems and figure things out for themselves and don't turn to the government or to others for help and don't say there ought to be a law, but who just really work to make things happen for themselves. So I saw that there was a real dearth of that in the films I was reviewing for Liberty, and I thought I wanted to create a venue for liberty-oriented films. And so that's what I did. And our first year was kind of, it was a real mixed bag. I had some strange films, and then I had some really wonderful films that year, and we took off.
Wow. How great is that 12 years later? So you're probably getting more and more filmmakers applying, and I bet they're appreciative because they probably can get turned away elsewhere. Oh, wait a minute. This is too responsible.
That's what a lot of people tell me is that mine is the only festival that was willing to accept them. I had a great film last year called Rush to Judgment, Judgment, honor at the Lincoln Memorial. And it was about the Nick Sandman case, which went viral and took one small snippet of what happened and turned him into this horrible person who was confronting and being disrespectful to a Native American. And come to find out, if you look at the whole video, he was being very respectful and very quiet and just not responding. But no one would show that film. And I did. And I haven't won this year, Battleground Melbourne, that I couldn't even watch it on Film Freeway because they wouldn't show it. They wouldn't let us watch it. I had to go outside of the Film Freeway platform and watch it on YouTube in order to decide if I wanted it, because it's too dangerous, because it was about the government completely shutting down Melbourne during the pandemic. And the people who were fighting against it for their normal, basic human rights.
Wow. Well, thank God that you're going to be showing that. And I can't believe that Film Freeway, which is just essentially just a process tool, is, come on.
They had a double warning. I had to go through 2 warning signs before I could even watch the film. And and I get all these films. I get a lot of student films and crazy stuff. I'll get stuff with throat slashed and nakedness and all this other stuff. Those are fine, but a film about a pregnant woman being arrested because she wants to go out and walk in the park with her friends, that was dangerous. So
wow. Well, I can't wait to see that. Are you going to have any premieres, like where they've never been shown before?
We're premiering Innovation Race, another film by Luke Livingston that was produced by Tea Party Patriots. Luke is just a great documentarian. He has a really good eye for narrative. This year he has a film that's talking about the importance of the patent system. You might remember his film from 2018 called Invalidated that was also about patents. But here he makes the point that what really set America apart and what really created an environment for success was our patent system. The fact that someone could create something and then own a patent so that all of the effort and investment that they put into it would be theirs, and they could have for a time a right to produce it and not have others come in and do knockoffs and copy it. We've had a lot of violations of that patent, but now the U.S. Patent Office has started to invalidate a lot of those patents when they're challenged, and now it's China that has the strongest patent system in the world, and people are going there. And so, yes, so Innovation Race, we're having a great premiere for that Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, and they're providing snacks, and it's going to be a big red carpet event, so that's going to be fun. Behind the Berlin Wall is another film we are premiering. That Melbourne, the Battleground Melbourne, we're doing a premiere of that one as well. So we have a number of films that are being shown for the first time at our festival. I'm very excited about that.
Oh, that's so great. And so the filmmakers, they'll be there, and that's fun for them. You know, they're great.
Yes, that's what I really love about festivals, is that the directors are there. You enjoy a movie. There's a real festive environment. People are excited. They're seeing something for the first time. And then you can talk to the filmmakers. You can ask them questions. You can tell them what you like. You can ask them, now, why did you do this way? And then we like to have panels afterwards where we talk more about the subjects. We're really tight this year, so I have a film going constantly. We don't have any breaks, but we have Q&A after each film, and then we have panels talking about the topics as well, where all of the filmmakers will come together. For example, I have this great film called The Gift. It's a little 6-minute sci-fi short that happened to be filmed at my house. Okay. I know these filmmakers, and they were looking for a location and asked if I knew one. I said, well, you could come to my house.
That's fun. That's fun.
And then we have another one called The Free Life, about a Cuban artist. And then afterwards, we're having a panel about the connection between freedom and art. So I like to group the films together thematically and then have a panel where the filmmakers can talk more at length about the topic.
That is so great. I love to see you showing the thought patterns out there when it does come to freedom and art. It's very difficult for people that want to share their thoughts about freedom these days, like even investigating something. That'll be a great session.
It will. And we have, I have another session on honest journalism, courageous journalism. I have this gorgeous film called The Hong Konger. It's the Jimmy Lai story. I don't know if you know who Jimmy Lai is, but he was a Hong Kong journalist with Apple Media. And when the Chinese government started coming in and getting ready to take over Hong Kong, he refused to. People told him, you need to get out of there. You need to be safe. And he said, no, I'm going to stay, and I'm going to continue telling the stories, getting the stories out for as long as I can. And eventually he was arrested, and many of his staff were arrested, and he's now somewhere in China. We hope he's still alive.
Oh boy.
But the courage, when you look at the difference between the media in the United States, just spouting what they're told to say.
Right.
And the in these other countries where it really, really matters. And then after that film, I have one by an Iranian filmmaker called I Will Never Leave You. And it's a true story. He's turned it into a narrative because you'll see why. But it's a true story about a journalist in Afghanistan after we left Afghanistan and the Taliban took over, and they began executing or ordinary citizens, and especially executing journalists who disagreed with them. And this one journalist was able to film evidence, footage of people being executed. It's in the film. I was in tears as I watched. And then his next urgent need was to get it uploaded and sent to the West. While the Taliban are looking for him, his fiance is there, and she says, you have to come with me. You have to go now. They're going to get you. They're going to kill you. He says, no, go. You escape. I have to get this uploaded. Just such a tense and courageous film. And then, of course, we'll have a panel talking about courageous journalism. We have Project Veritas is there, James O'Keefe. another premiere. In fact, their film isn't quite finished yet. I saw enough of it to know that I wanted it. They continued tweaking it, and their color, they're doing the final colorizing of it right now, and they'll be sending it to me tomorrow. So another premiere and another story about courageous journalism, truth seekers, and he's been attacked by the FBI as well with what he's doing. So we have a lot of very courageous filmmakers, and we have a number of films about cancel culture. We have 4 films on cancel culture, talking about the dangers and the risks of having a different point of view than the accepted point of view.
Great, great, great. Excellent. Boy, I can't wait to see the Project Veritas movie.
Who's another one who puts his life on the line every time he goes out there to get the true story out? You know, he's a truth finder, and he's courageous enough to know that it's worth the risks for what he's doing. And that's at lunchtime on Saturday.
Say that
we have a fun movie that's on at lunchtime on Saturday. We're showing.
Okay, great to know. Okay.
And then we have some really great comedies with a bite, comedies that have a message, but the message is mixed with a lot of sugar to make it happy and palatable. Cute comedy. One of my favorites is called We're Doing Good. What I love about this film is that it has a message without knowing that it's a message. It's a film about this young couple that have just moved to a new neighborhood. They want to do good. They want to be known as good people. So they're recycling, and they're eating vegan, but you know what? It's hard to do good. Like what they go through just to try to compost the way we're supposed to be doing, and they put some in the freezer because I don't know what to do with it, and then they keep food in the freezer because they have all their compost in the freezer. So then they try to find a place to take it, and it turns out that it's not a place where you can deposit your compost. It's a place where you can buy compost. They don't want more compost.
Oh, no.
The couple, the casting is wonderful, and they're just short little episodes. It's a new episode series, and we're showing 2 of them, and just a charming couple, wonderful casting, and nobody has to say anything about how they feel about recycling, because they just show how hard it is to do. And we all find that things that are good are often hard to do. So great little film.
Great. That sounds fun. I love the light stuff too. That's wonderful. It's nice because there's so many hard things, you know, it's nice to have the balance.
And they still have a message. Oh, I have to tell you, my celebrity this year, I consider him a celebrity. It's Bill Marcelli. Bill Marcelli is best known because he's a screenwriter who is known for having the record for the most expensive, for getting the highest price for a screenplay. And it was for the Denzel Washington movie, Deja Vu. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but
I have not.
I love time travel movies. I love the idea that they always have to have a certain set of rules. The whole idea that you can change things by going into the past. Anyway, it's a Denzel Washington movie called Deja Vu. He wrote it. And he has a cute little comedy for us called Gunpoint, beautifully made, a lot of fun. And again, it makes the point by going a little over the top, the comedy of the absurd that makes a point. And it doesn't matter whether you're right or left, or you can see for yourself the absurdity of this film. So it's fun. It's about
all right. I will definitely go out of my way to see that one too. Well, no, it's going to be easy to see the films, right?
Last year we were a mile away from FreedomFest. Last year we were at a wonderful theater, but it was a bit of a difficulty to get there, and it was 95 degrees, and we were walking across it. So this time we're in Montego A. We're right in the middle of FreedomFest. In fact, it's the first thing you come to. You have to go past the theater in order to get into the exhibit hall or any of the other things. Your FreedomFest ticket is also your Anthem ticket. Perfect. So you just show your badge and you're in. We also do a special film lovers pass. So people who just want to watch movies all day long, and who wouldn't? That's what I would want to do. They can do it for $149, 4 days of but films for $149. It's a really good bargain.
That's a great bargain. Wow. Wow, wow. And I love the fact that it's right in the middle too, because, you know, even if you've got 2 sessions that you're going to go to, and maybe you need to take a break, you know, and just slide right in and catch some movies, and that's awesome.
Yeah. And another one that's really fun is called Quarantine for Two. And it was made in 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic lockdown. And it's about a young man who was just getting ready to ask a blind date with a young woman who was the sister of a friend of his. And he doesn't know when the pandemic is going to end, and he doesn't want to lose the chance to meet this girl. So they begin learning each other and getting to know each other during the pandemic at the beginning, when people were truly locked down, and all the different things they do to try and have dates when they're not actually in the same house, let alone the same room. And it's just very charming and real too, because there were deaths during the pandemic. But it's a cute film, and it comes right after my film called Planet Lockdown, which is a wonderful, well-researched documentary about the pandemic lockdown, the problems with it. It's the characters are scientists and historians and sociologists or psychologists, and all of these people who are talking about the pandemic lockdown worldwide. And that's at 8:30 on Saturday morning.
Good.
And we'll have Phil Magnus, who was instrumental in the Great Barrington Project. He'll be one of our panelists after the film.
All right. Wow. So is this going to be covered at all on the Fox Nation broadcast?
Yes, we are going to have we will be streaming on Fox Nation our two general session areas will be available, but with the film festival, we're going to be having streaming available on Salem Now and Epic TV. So for people who, for whatever reason, can't come to Freedom Fest, but they still want to see the films, they can sign up on Salem Now or on Epic TV. Okay. And pay. It depends on whether you're paying by the day or by or for the 4 days, but it's about $50 to be able to watch 4 days of films. And with Salem Now, you can even chat. So while you're watching the movie, you can talk to the filmmakers and say something, ask a question, say what you like, and the filmmaker will be right there responding. So it's going to be very interactive on Salem Now.
Wow, that is really cool. Very cool. I love that. I'm really looking forward to it. Any other hot topics or any other exciting? This is all exciting. So, you know.
Sure. So I'll tell you something that your viewers will want to know. First of all, the Anthem Film Festival is part of Freedom Fest. And so if you come to Freedom Fest, your Freedom Fest ticket is your ticket to the Anthem Film Festival. You can come to everything, and it's part of your part of the event. We start at 12 noon on Wednesday. That's our early bird, and we'll go from 12 noon to 4 on Wednesday. And then we start first thing in the morning after that, 9 o'clock on Thursday and 8:30 on Friday and Saturday, and we continue until 4 o'clock. We have if you're interested in SCOTUS and everything that's going on with the Supreme Court, we have a great film about Clarence Thomas called Created Equal by the wonderful Michael Pack. It's a beautiful film. It tells his whole story. You know, Clarence Thomas started out living in a little house that didn't even have a floor, and he rose to become an attorney and a constitutionalist, and then a Supreme Court justice. That's pretty amazing. And yet, Clarence Thomas has never been on the cover of Ebony magazine because he's not the right kind of Black man. He doesn't toe the line. He's an independent thinker. And so it's a great story about his rise from poverty to become an attorney and then to become a Supreme Court justice. That's on Friday night at 7:30. Great film. Oh yes, we have a mystery speaker.
Oh.
Grid Down on at 8:30 on Friday morning. We have a film called Grid Down, and it's about what could happen if there was an EMP or something else that would cause the power grid to fail. How is that going to affect our lives if we suddenly don't have a power grid? Imagine everything we do that is tied to the power grid, and how are we going to get along without it? So the film talks about that, and then we have a special coffee reception at 9:30 in the morning, and with coffee and pastries, and we have a very, very special guest who's coming. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but if you look up who the narrator is, you might be able to guess it.
Oh, okay. I will do that.
Early, because it is a superstar mystery guest on Friday at 8:30 in the morning, and then the coffee reception at 9:30. Don't miss that one.
Okay, good to know for that time management, gotta, I definitely want to be there.
Freedom Fest doesn't start till 9, so you can just be like the Three Little Pigs and sneak in early before everybody else is there. We also have our masterclass and filmmakers reception, which has become a really popular event. We started it in 2016. The idea was to give the filmmakers a reason to get acquainted with one another, get to know each other, do some networking, and become friends. And over the years, I've been really excited as I watch films and I read the credits. And quite often, I recognize names that are director of photography, or doing the music or the editing. And I'm starting to recognize this crossover where one person is directing this film, but maybe doing DP on another one and music for another. And that's something I'm really happy about, is that over the years, the filmmakers have come to know each other. They've started collaborating on these independent films that focus on liberty-oriented filmmaking. The quality of the film is going up because everyone's starting to do what they do best, and so the filmmakers aren't having to do it all themselves. They're able to collaborate with one another. So our Thursday night masterclass this time is called. We have 4 wonderful experts, and it's about raising the bar on libertarian and liberty-oriented filmmaking. So we have these great experts: Lana Link, Jordan Harmon, Michael Pack, Taylor Davidson, and now I can't remember the other one. Oh, I hate that I'm forgetting the last one. But they're all wonderful, wonderful, talented filmmakers. Bill Marcelli, of course, is the other one. And they will be talking about how to raise the bar and focus more on the quality of filmmaking rather than the messaging. Now, messaging is important, but we don't want that to be the focus. We want to make wonderful, good films that just happen to be liberty oriented, rather than messages that may not be great films, but we ought to see them. We want films that we don't see because we ought to see them, but because we just can't stand to miss them. And guess what? They're also about liberty. A great example of that is our 2018 grand prize winner, Little Pink House. It's about a community where their homes were taken away through eminent domain, and they lost their homes. Their homes were destroyed so that Pfizer could use that land to build their own factories, and the money was just the land was just taken away, and everyone got it. They didn't need to hit us over the heads with the idea. They didn't have to really focus on the message, because it was self-evident, and it wasn't left and it wasn't right. It was just wrong, and everybody got it. So that's what we're hoping to do, is to have films that are self-evident, that are films that we don't have to tell them what to think and what to believe, because it just makes sense. And so that's what we're doing with films.
I like that a lot. That's cool. I have to go see that one. I'll have to look it up. That sounds great.
That one we don't have. We had that one 4 years ago. But just look it up. It might be on one of the streaming services.
Okay, I will do that. Great.
IMDb.
All right. Well, gosh, this is great. I can't wait to see your films, and you'll probably have more people than ever this year attending.
We have 350 speakers this year.
Wow.
We've never had so many. We have 350 speakers.
Wow.
We will definitely be over 2,000, probably well over 2,000 attendees this year. We have 170 exhibitors this year. We've just grown and grown and grown. And then, of course, we'll have our awards. We'll have our Audience Choice Awards, where we've made it very easy this year. Right after the film, for every film, there will be a QR code, and you just pick up your phone, you point it at the screen, and it will go into a browser that will allow you to just rate the films 1 through 5. If you think it's great, it's going to get a 5. If it's not so good, it'll get a 1, and somewhere in between. And it'll be that easy. Just point, click, make your choice. And then Saturday night, we'll have our awards, and one of the awards will be the Audience Choice Award, to find out what was your favorite film.
Okay.
So I never know what it's going to be, and I'm always excited to see.
Oh, that's great. Great. All right. Well, gosh. Well, thanks, Joanne. And, I got to tell you, the film festival last year was just fantastic. The whole festival was, really. And you guys really have the customer service thing down. You really take care of your attendees really nicely. Everything that you have to offer, and there's always some coffee or a snack, or, you kind of know what to do, and there's plenty of conferences that doesn't happen, so I really got to hand it to you guys.
Thank you. We're a small family business, and we only have 5 full-time employees that put on this big conference, and everyone loves what they do. And we have several volunteers who help us as well, because they believed in the cause, and we just couldn't do what we do without the people who help us. And everyone cares. Everyone really cares about the festival, about the ideas that we're sharing, and we really, really care the people who come. So I'm glad you noticed that. Thank you.
Yes. Well, thank you, Joanne. 2 weeks, I'll see you there. And, if you need anything and I'm walking by, feel free to just, I'll go get the French fries or whatever you need if I'm, no problem. So, but anyway, all right, well, take care, and thank you again.
All right. Thanks for talking. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.